So this news is brought to you by the R, the I, and the S in BRICS, which I'm told by Kyle on Twitter will unseat US dominance by 2025, with the help of Bitcoin, of course. And if you're wondering what the R, I, and S of BRICS is, that is Russia, India, and South Africa. Anyway, Vladimir Putin will not attend the BRICS summit in South Africa in August because South Africa is bound by the International Criminal Court to arrest him if he shows up. Russia will instead be represented by its foreign minister, Sergei Lavrov. Now, the International Criminal Court issued this arrest warrant in March for Putin, accusing him of war crimes for illegally deporting children from Ukraine into Russia, basically kidnapping children as a fruit of the war here. Russia has not concealed the program at all, saying that it is a humanitarian campaign to protect orphans and children abandoned in the war zone. He admitted to this kidnapping essentially on Russian television. Moscow has said the warrant is legally void as Russia is not a member of the International Criminal Court. However, those a member of the International Criminal Court can arrest those that have warrants out for them issued by the criminal court. So this is why Putin won't be attending in South Africa. Now, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa had asked permission from the International Criminal Court to not arrest Putin because to do so would amount to a declaration of war, and the International Criminal Court rightfully balked at this request. According to the Kremlin, Russia didn't tell South Africa that arresting Vladimir Putin would amount to war. They said that was just some blustery rhetoric that was put out. Shortly after the Kremlin's comments, South Africa said that Putin would not attend the summit because of a mutual agreement between South Africa and Russia. So somewhat of an embarrassment if you're a big BRICS fan. But moving on to India, who is the I in BRICS, India and Russia have suspended efforts to settle bilateral trade in rupees after months of negotiations have failed to convince Russia to keep rupees in its banking system or in its reserves. Now, this is a setback for both India and Russia, for Indian importers, Russian exporters, and it hurts Russia as they try to maintain a market for their energy exports. It hurts India, who is trying to find cheap energy. The Indians were awaiting a permanent rupee payment mechanism to help lower the currency conversions for buying energy from Russia. Russia, however, is not comfortable holding rupees and wants to be paid in Chinese yuan or other currencies where they conduct more trade or those that have a larger trade value on the global stage. Now, this discomfort led to $2 billion in Russian arms remaining unpaid by India because Russia didn't want to be paid in the rupee, and India doesn't want rubles. Russia said it would accept US dollars, but India refused to because if they started paying in US dollars, they would likely incur secondary sanctions from the United States. In addition, just standing outside of the BRICS, I guess, conglomerate, I don't know what it is, it's kind of a mess. It's not necessarily an alliance, but the conglomerate of emerging economies is generally what they call it. Iran has a bone to pick with Russia as well, as they have fully paid for 50 Russian Su-35s over a year ago, and not one has been delivered. Part of this is lobbying efforts from Israel into Russia, as well as the fact that Russia is just struggling to build these aircraft and may need them for themselves. So Russia's relative standing both in BRICS and globally continues to decline because of this foolish war they have started with Ukraine.